Dear session chair and members of the session, a research on the theme Organizational and Economic Mechanism of Qualitative Modeling of Sustainable Development of the Enterprise is proposed to your attention. In modern conditions, the successful operation of enterprises and maintaining the sustainability of their development depend on the adaptive model of strategic management of the enterprise. So, the scientific novelty of the obtained results is to provide the organizational and informational strategy for sustainable development of the enterprise, the elements of which are the development of a qualitative model of sustainable development strategy and the method of private least squares in order to build a PLS-PM model of sustainable development of the enterprise as a complex economic system. Sustainable development of an enterprise should be considered on the basis of an integrated approach as an integration of all of the components: economic one, environmental one, social, and integrative ones. The PLS-PM method differs from covariance-based modeling, variability of random variables, since it is not about constructing a general model of vectors for data. It can be used to analyze large data sets to assess the performance of the latent variables. In this study, 4 latent variables associated with explicit quantitative variables are used, as you can see in a table. The level of the sustainable enterprise development, sustainable development, the level of economic development, it's called economy, the level of social development, society, the level of ecological development, ecology, and the level of integrative development, integrative dimension. Analyzing the sustainable development of mining enterprises on the basis of reporting data, one can identify a number of indicators that characterize the components of the sustainable development. These are explicit variables from the initial model of sustainable development. The external model characterizes the relationship between explicit and latent variables. Since each latent variable is directly related to 2 or 3 explicit variables, the external model of the reflective type, in this case, can be presented in the form of a system of equations. The next stage in the assessment of the significance of external variables, which is possible using the software capabilities of the Smart PLS package, shown correlation coefficients of explicit variables and latent variables by blocks, and they indicate the following. Low correlation, close to or equal to 0, is observed for one variable in the block's integrative dimension and ecology, which leads to some internal inconsistency. The values of the cumulative effect of the coefficients of the trajectories indicate the validity of the selected trajectories. It is assumed that the value of f squared at a level above 0.02 means the presence of a significant effect of the latent variable. In our model, the value of f squared in all cases exceeds 0.02. The magnitude of the effect of the components economy, society, ecology, and integrated dimension for the latent variable sustainable development are 0.539, 0.046, 0.134 and 0.281. This shows that all of the components have a significant impact on the sustainable development. As for conclusions, therefore, during the calculations to verify the relevance of the PLS-PM model of the sustainable development, it was proved that the three-tier approach relevant for macroeconomic objects requires specification by highlighting additional aspects, considering the integrative dimension of sustainable development at the micro level. The proposed component of sustainable development includes the provision and balance of resources, the state of property, and an innovation activity. Accordingly, it is proposed to include production and technological subsystems that were not taken into account in the components which were mentioned above. Using the methods of scientific generalization and abstraction, the essence of latent variables and the relations between them was identified, and it was substantiated as well as the numerical modeling was performed. Using the method of abstraction, it was possible to similarly separate the characteristics of sustainable development that are irrelevant for modeling from itself, such as binary indicators for the cost of modernization and implementation of innovations and initiatives to reduce the impact of production on the environment. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.